Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Federico Talks Watches. Today, I wanted to do something that a lot of you guys may think is fairly basic or common sense, but you'd be surprised how many watch collectors and lovers don't know. And I'm going to talk about 5 very simple ways you can take care of your watch. 5 things you could do to ensure that they last a very long time. Now, of course, before we get started, customary wristwatch check. I am wearing the Breitling Chronomat Evolution. I have not worn this watch in a little bit, and actually, got to put another hole in the strap. It's moving around a little bit. But I quite like this watch. It's one of the oldest watches in my collection. I don't wear it often, but when I do, I really enjoy it. And of course, quick little shout out to DelReyWatch.com. Bunch of new watches in stock. We just got the very rare Panerai Carbotech. Go check that one out. A Rolex ceramic Submariner with box and papers, and a very cool unworn Louis Monet that we're selling for under 60% of retail. All that and much more at DelReyWatch.com. Don't forget to check out the hot deals section. So anyway, guys, I've made videos about things not to do with your watch, or how things that could damage your watch. But what about 5 simple things that you can do that'll really help the longevity of your watch collection? I think that could be quite useful, and these are just the ones that came to my mind. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. And these are in no particular order. The first one that I know a ton of people ignore, a ton of people, including myself and most watch collectors, is to have your water resistance and your seals checked every year. If you have a dealer friend, or if you have a relationship with an AD, this should be free. And what that means is just bring in your watch to a dealer or an authorized dealer that has a water testing machine. Just do it once a year. Make sure that it's tight. Seals do perish over time, especially if the watch has been opened once or twice, or if you are in a place with harsh conditions, such as, Miami with the humidity, or maybe you're in a very, very cold place. Harsh conditions don't do great with seals. Get it checked once a year. And guess what? If you need your seals replaced, they're very, very cheap. But if you forget and you get water in your watch, your service bill, let me just say, you're going to wish you went out of your way to make sure that it was watertight. The second thing is, if you're like me, and I own a pretty big watch collection. I have probably 15 watches, some expensive, some not so expensive, but most of them are mechanical. What I do is I make sure I run all of them once a month. What does that mean? That means once a month I take all the watches out of my box, and there's a few watches I haven't worn that month. I just give them a wind and I let them run. And, then I'll let them stop running after the power reserve runs out. But what that does is it moves around the oil, it makes sure it ticks, it doesn't let anything stagnate. Now, yes, with modern synthetic oils, it shouldn't really gunk up too badly. But this is a simple thing that takes a few minutes, which I actually find quite enjoyable, sitting there winding my watches. Takes a few minutes, but it really does help keep things moving, no pun intended. Number 3, and this is one I don't do either, and this is, which really I should, and it's the easiest one to do, and that is, after you wear your watch for an entire day, just give it a wipe down. You're wearing a watch, you take it off when you get home, give it a wipe down with a chamois cloth. That does 2 things. Firstly, it really helps your straps, because the acidity, your body, your sweat is acidic, and that could really eat at the straps, and it gets rid of the wrist cheese on the back of the watch, particularly if you're a sweaty person, and I know I sweat quite a bit living in Miami, and that's quite simple and great for the longevity of your straps. Just give it a little wipe down when you take the watch off. And number 4 on my list, I gotta check it right here. Oh yes, this one is a favorite of mine, but you have to be careful not to overdo it. And that is, once a year, check your watch on a time grapher. Now, this can be done when you bring it to check your seals, because once again, the dealer should have this machine handy. So once a year, put it on the time grapher, ask him how many seconds a day it's losing or gaining, and ask him what the amplitude is. Now, this will tell you if your watch needs service or how long you're going to need to wait before service is done. But be careful with this, because I know a lot of collectors that bought this machine, they have it at home, and they check it every night, and they obsess. And there's no reason to obsess. These are mechanical watches, readings vary day to day. There's no reason to check it more than every few months. In fact, I say just check it once a year to make sure it's running well. That's all. And the last thing is, and I've mentioned this many, many times, and once again, some collectors may disagree with me, but trust me, I'm right about this, and that is never open the case back of your watch. Movements are very fragile. They're very sensitive to dust, to humidity, to things just around you in your ambient, right? And there's something called micropollution, and that is a tiny little speck of dust or a little bit of humidity gets in there, and it could drastically change how your watch runs. Now, I know a lot of you guys may be tempted to open it up and take a look. I mean, you're a watch geek. You want to see how that is, but trust me, you're doing way more harm than good. Now, I'm not telling you you're going to open your watch and it's going to break right away, but, you do run the risk of tampering with a perfectly good movement by having it opened up. Leave the open case backs to the watchmakers, and also make sure it doesn't void your warranty. If you just bought a watch, make sure that you don't just throw that away by opening up the case back. Anyway, guys, those are 5 very simple things you could do to keep your watches in tip-top shape. Let me know what you think, and let me know if you thought I forgot anything. Comment in the comment section below. And of course, please don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. It really does help, and it lets me know when I'm on the right track with my content. Anyway, guys, thank you so much, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.